Ndị be anyị ka ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị mma. Asị m na ọ ya bala okeke bala oke afọ. Asị m na ọ ya dịrị ndị Igbo niile na mma. Na ya dịrị anyị Igbo na mma. Na anyị nche ya dị ka echi. Na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Maka na onye Igbo ka anyị bụ. Ife anyị na-azọ bụ ka o si dịrị anyị na mma. Ọ bụrụ onye ji nke ya. Ma dịka o si dị. Ihe a bụ Igbo midia ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa. Gbasata maka ihe na-eme na be anyị bụ ana Igbo. Ana gbasata maka ntọrọ ọdịda anyanwụ a na-akpọ Eastern Region. Ya bụ Igbo midia. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ihe anyị ga-etinyere unu n'iru akwụkwọ gbasata maka nnwere onwe a na-azọ. Ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ. Ma achọ ka Igbo mụrụ nze mụọ ọzọ, ka ndị Igbo ji biri, jegodi na ya bụ ife, gee na ya bụ ife, unu ga-esi ya, unu atụkpọ alụ, tinye uche nke unu, ife unu chere gbasata maka ya bụ ife. Nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Simon Ekpa kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ. Ọ dị na ka o sikwu m n'ọnụ. Over to you, sir.
You see, Tinubu's idea of business and economy is self-enrichment, because that's exactly what he did in Lagos. Turned Lagos to become his own business empire. And that's why we warn people, don't let Tinubu come in, because it's not going to be easy for Nigerians. Things will go from bad to worse. If there's anything more than worse, just target to this current regime. So that's what is happening. For Buhari, his own time, he was more a tribalist, or just, actually I call him a tribal bigot, or others call it bigot. So he is like naive, but he was smart in the way he orchestrated his plan and his plan, got it together and made sure he hatched it and brought it to pass. And all he was concerned was building a Fulani caliphate, taking over Nigeria and making it a Fulani country. And that's why they didn't mind killing people. The Fulani headsmen were killing people in their hundreds and thousands. And today we have many IDP camps all over Nigeria. That happened as a result of Buhari's agenda of Fulanization. And he succeeded in doing that. And now the Fulanis, do you know, recently I saw something where in Nasarawa State, Nasarawa State is not a Fulani state, but now what have they done? Over 2,000 vigilantes that are just from one tribe, that is the Fulani tribe. And most of the people that have invaded entire communities, killed people, burnt down people, and even their businesses, and took over their places, those are the same people that are now the vigilante group. And I remember the Amatekun, the one of the Yoruba one. They came up there to also say they needed vigilante, because they were going into forests, taking over people. Even obas and chiefs, local obas, were adopted by these people, kidnapped by these people, and ransoms were required from them. They also, in the south, they also came up with their own vigilante. And I remember even the Middle Belt, because of what was happening in Benue, Kaduna, and especially in Plateau. So they came up with their own vigilante, but they were not allowed. They never sanctioned it. So suddenly now they are allowing the one of Nasarawa, because it is still the same Fulanis. And the governor knows about it. That governor that is sitting with an illegitimate mandate, stolen mandate, because they bribed the judiciary. So that's what has happened. And I'm telling you, things are worse now. The economy is worse. Go to the airport and see what is happening. The number of people that are checking out of the nation. They are saying, I'm sick and tired. They can't wait for 4 years of suffering. If 8 months is already like hell, how much more another 3 years and maybe a few months under Tinubu? Possibly, if something does not happen or is done, it will extend to 8 years of suffering and pain for Nigerians. So I want to hear your comment. What do you have to say about what is happening? Because with what Buhari did, and Tinubu said is coming to continue where Buhari stopped. And his own is not necessarily, even though people are talking about he's just putting Yorubas, especially from Lagos. But you know what? Anybody, whether it's Yoruba, Tinubu is not thinking about the Yoruba people. Any Yoruba that he's putting in there is for his own person. If he knows this person will come and help to fortify his grip to power and also help to expand his business empire, which is purely selfish. It's not that he's thinking about the Yorubas, but that's what he's doing. And he's using them, and so he doesn't mind the Yorubas working against the Igbos as long as he will get what he wants. That's the whole thing about, even all this thing about bulldozing Igbo businesses in Lagos, burning their businesses, telling them to go to the east, is all so that he can have his own business, or businesses will expand. So that's what is happening. So Tinubu, we already know, when it comes to corruption, he is a genius, a master. He masterminds everything that has to do with corruption and surrounds himself with such people that will enable it, or that will help him, make it easier for him. And that in my own opinion, but leave your own opinion. I want to hear, write it in the comment section, but that's what I feel about what is going on. So corruption now, under Tinubu, anybody that is currently complaining about the corruption now, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just saying, looking at the indicators, where things are at, and knowing from the antecedents of Tinubu, this past record, who we are dealing with, who is sitting as commander-in-chief now, except if Tinubu is out, except if a miracle happens, we can only expect the worst, because he doesn't have a clear agenda for Nigeria. It's all about himself. So, and that's what is happening. So corruption under Tinubu it's already been taken to another level. Most of his cabinet ministers are people that were either under the investigation, or they had cases to answer with EFCC, and most of them had to do with corruption. And they had not been cleared, including the Senate president. And Bajamila, that happens to be Tinubu's chief of staff. Currently, we've had so many allegations, many of the corruption, including the one of Amefiele, the one of CBN, that is currently now under the EFCC issue, and has a clear case to answer. They're now finding out from investigations going on that Bajamila is connected. It's also connected to that one of the former CBN. And now Edu, that was supposed to come as a minister to help alleviate people's suffering under her own ministry, just within 3 months, billions were already stolen and put in her own private account. And you know, I was told that, was it a few days back, that Edu finally got audience with the president. And she was in tears, on her knees, just telling him, please hear me, listen to me. Let me tell you what is happening. And do you know what was found out? In fact, they said at a point, Tinubu had to call the first lady to come and hear for herself. And they were surprised to hear that the same Bajamila again is also implicated in the money that they had to do with Edu. So Edu is wondering, why should I be the one that should be suffering? Meanwhile, in your own doorstep, in your own office, the one that is your own, the person that is your chief of staff is also involved. So why should I be the one that should suffer alone? So that's already coming out, telling you the kind of team that Tinubu has surrounded himself with. And it's just months into his regime, and we're already experiencing these things. So where do we go from here? Only Nigerians will have to just stand up and declare, what do we want to see? What kind of Nigeria do we want to see? And nobody can force it on you, not even people like us. We are just sharing out of concern. God has put it in our heart, or let me say my heart, to talk about what's going on in Nigeria, to help shape the people towards change. But you know, you can, as it is said, you can take the horse to the river, but you can't force the horse to drink. That's exactly. So now the ball is not even with the politicians, it's not in their court. The ball is in the court of Nigeria. Only Nigerians can bring the change. You know, somebody, I was listening to somebody, actually Aisha was saying that she is tired of helping Nigerians. Because if they don't want to be helped, then they shouldn't be calling on her for help. The time they are supposed to rise up and demand accountability from their government and the people that they elected, they are quiet. Then suddenly, when they have problems, they are now going to other people that are generous to be asking them for help. And meanwhile, broad daylight, the people that are in government are stealing money, impoverishing the people. So Nigerians have to just stand up and say enough is enough. And we're not calling for violence. We've already had enough insecurity and violence in the nation. But we're saying peacefully, demand justice, demand your rights. And say anybody that was voted for, it doesn't even matter whether they were not voted for, but they forced themselves on the people, then they need to sit up and govern the people right. Think about the people and not just their own personal evil interest, but they must be about the people. And now, let's also look at the issue of security. And some people are saying, why are these all the companies living? Are they living? I mean, will you want to invest your money in a place where you're not secure, where you can't tell what will happen to you, your life? Right now, there is insecurity. Before, we used to hear in the forest and in some states, maybe northeast and northwest, and then part of southern Kaduna, the plateau, and also Benue. But right now, they have taken insecurity into the seat of government. That is in the capital city. They are abducting people, kidnapping them, some killing even them. You remember the family that were kidnapped, and the man had 6 daughters or 6 children. One of the daughters was killed by the kidnappers. They demanded a lot of money. Today, they are even the army barracks, they are going and kidnapping. Abuja and the environment or the environs are not safe. So people that used to feel safe in the capital, they are no longer safe. And then some people are saying, no, they are trying to frustrate Tinubu's government and they're not happy about Wike being the minister of the FCT. Well, whatever is the reason, the issue is that Tinubu promised that when he comes, insecurity will come to an end. And Wike said as long as he's in Abuja, there will be security. But right now, things have become worse. So where is the change? Where is the next level that they said they are taking us to? And that's why Nigerians, we need to take a stand. One thing we've been doing and doing very well, and we should not relent, is praying. Because power belongs to God. He sets up one and brings down another. Will we say God is the one that gave us Tinubu? I wouldn't say that outrightly. He forced himself there. But he's already there. What can we do than pray and trust God that there will be change? And I still believe it is possible, especially because of the people that are suffering, unnecessary suffering, in a nation that is so endowed with human resource, with natural resources, name it. The brains of Nigerians. We have traveled to some nations of the world and have seen anywhere there are Nigerians, they thrive. They excel in whatever they do. But the issue, the challenge we have is bad governance. I am looking forward to that day when Nigeria will truly have the manifestation, the clear expression of good governance. And God has people that have what it takes to bring this about. Like Peter Obi, Baba Ahmed. But you know, these wicked people don't like people like Peter Obi. You know, so that's why, but I believe that God will bless us with people like him. Because things are not going to continue like this forever. It is said, generally, that many days for the thief, but one day for the owner. I still believe, I still see a possibility of a new Nigeria. I call on the obedience, especially the young people. It does not matter how long, but I'm confident that this change is bound to come. So don't ever give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't feel it is over. It is not yet over until we win, until we take our nation back from these political rogues. You know, allowing them is what they will actually be happy. If everybody folds his hand or her hand and say, oh, I mean, they're already here, let's allow them. Let them steal all they want to steal. Let them kill all the people they can kill. Innocent people are suffering in the process. And maybe you're saying, I will leave and go abroad. But not everybody has what it takes to be able to go abroad. And we have seen how many of our people have died in the desert, trying to cross the Sahara Desert. How many have died in the sea? Very, very sad. But I believe a new Nigeria is still possible. Let me get your views. Let me hear what you have to say. But I plead with us, let's not give up. Let's not throw in the towel. Because we have a nation that is a blessed nation. And we can still make Nigeria work. You have a part to play. I have a part to play. Yes, let's continue to pray. And let's continue to speak good over the nation. Because criticizing, speaking evil, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is destroyed, I hate Nigeria, those are not the words that should be coming out of your mouth. You know the Bible says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. There is power in your own tongue. Go ahead and declare that this nation, Nigeria, will work. We will leave a nation for our children's children that they will be proud to call their own home. Well, as I promised, I don't want to talk too long. They say a word is enough for the wise. Nigeria, our nation. I really want to appreciate you. I believe this year is going to be a great year for us all. Things will start to shift and change. How they will happen, I can't tell you, but I'm confident that it is still possible. Because with God, all things are possible. So I want to say thank you very much for joining me today. Again, please share this broadcast with as many people as you can and let them know that Nigeria is still our nation and we still believe it will work and they must not give up. And do whatever you can do to ensure that we see the birth of a new Nigeria. I want to say thank you very much for joining me and I look forward to seeing you in my next broadcast. As you know, may have noticed, I'm not coming up with broadcasts as before. I will only do it when it's necessary. And so when you don't see me, just know everything is fine. It's not because I've given up on Nigeria. Let's keep on praying. Let's keep on believing and play our own part. God does his own part best. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you next time. Once again, this is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. God bless you and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. See you next time. Bye-bye.
And by a kid away the moon also educating room. Yeah, living for them bagaku near Wako. Kefi were equal bastamaka beef. Chitapon bastabo bosafo. Ubasaya for Nanibo. Kefi were equal bastamaka beef Nina Ugase. Drop or your comment on the comment show below. Whether the Gibiabo Dalulinde. Chitakweno Ozone Yab Eastern is 24. Guys go in with the Runoja. Kemesian on the bay. And the bay Dalun Linen Yabukwa Ibo Media. I see when I would take on Lupozia do Kemba. The guy see Konunqua and the guy see Nabambo. I would ike in a new update. Be a bastama kifene mena anibo bay. And in what over Kanazo. Or Yabunqua I could and I can name is here. I was at the Kibiabo. You watch a year kita in Nina Biafra Prime Minister. Go against Oku, no dinkege. Nanchukota morgue. Kali will it lie in here. Mako Kiyaganese name is. What a bear equity and Boyano. What a by Slynol. But a Babylon net president. A Babylon vice president. Nothing. And the new Muyindi na Megasquano, Umuna is so gonna abo famba. Mako Kivi as they make it as Adrozi Asimo getting a mezi or the Carlo. Aratos the email. Negodin Kobodo City. Came a one night woke Mazin and the Kanu Namboro. Akomakandibo. Can you Joe Miller? Macosin and Ibo Gadi, Macos Naigadi. Naga the cage nature that guago. ọ nwere ihe ọzọ eji jide ya? Jụọ onwe gị ajụjụ a. Gịnị ka eji jide Maazị Nnamdi Kanu? Ọkwa maka ọ sị na Igbo ya adị? Biko ọtụtụ dị ka iwe chetara ife a bụ Igbo midia anyị na-asụ n'onu be anyị, ọnụnụ be anyị ka anyị na-asụ. So biko ọ bụ na ede anụ Igbo, iwe ewena gị, ọnụnụ be anyị ka anyị ji akọwa ihe na-eme ebe a. Ka ego ọkwa na ya anyị na-ekwu bifo, unu ekwe n'iwe ka ife onye ndu melụ, ọ sị na ya na-eme mgbomgbe ndị Igbo na-abịa ya n'alụ, ọ na-ewute ya. Simon Ekpapini ya anyị agbawa ya mgba ka e mere obedient movement. Akwụwụrụ okwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru before ejide ya, they will never give you that president, that seat. Akwụdoro na ya na Peter Obi winere mana nyere ya. Gịnị ka asị ya bụ mba? Igbo mana na ife maka oke esi na-ekwuzi okwu ọka ife ga na-esi na-emezi. Ọ bụ na ịkpọrọ onwe gị mitin, chụkọ onwe gị ọnụ, jụọ onwe gị ajụjụ a ka ebe ịkwụ n'obodo a bụ Naijiria. Ajụ nchọkwa onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo na-ege m ntị n'elu akwụkwọ a, jụọ onwe ya na na-ejicha onwe gị ya bụ ife isaa ya. Ọgwụna ka m n'ọnụ. Ihe a bụ Igbo midia. Daalụ n'ụmụnne.